Hello, my name is Jess, and today I'm going to be telling you how I redesigned YouTubers' Dreams merch. Yes, it is my first video on this channel, and I'm going after the biggest YouTubers right now brands. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing could go wrong. So I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you already know, or at least have an idea who Dream is, unless you're just down like a really weird YouTube rabbit hole. Anyway, still hi. Dream is a super giant Minecraft YouTuber right now. Over the past year, he's gotten like 19 million subscribers. He's probably going to hit 20 million by the time that I post this video. So it's a little funny when you see a channel of his size have the only sort of branding that his channel has is this. His profile picture, which is an MS Paint drawn smiley face on a bright neon green background. I mean, it's not the worst. Like, it could be just Comic Sans turned at a 45-degree angle, and then his name could be something stupid like Rambo. That was a joke. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm coming over after Rambo too. No one is safe, although his logo's so bad. Anyway, but because Dream's a big YouTuber, he has merch like a ton of other YouTubers do. But since his only branding is this, the merch that he's most known for is just like hoodies and shirts with a smiley face on it. I mean, it's for his fans, and of course he's going to put the smiley face on there. So Dream's merch can often get a lot of hate online because, let's be honest, some of the merch on his store looks like it could be drawn with like a Sharpie. So about 2 weeks ago from when I'm recording this, Dream made a post on his Twitter basically making fun of the fact that people will say that his smiley face merch is boring because it's literally only a smiley face on there. Then there are brands like Nike, Adidas, and Supreme who kind of do the same thing. Like, they only have one thing slapped on their shirt, so it should be fine. So this got me thinking, how do I make a video capitalizing on this drama? And then release it 3 weeks later after everything is done, like the next day. While these people may just be hating on Dream to hate on Dream, do they kind of have a point though? So we have the two sides of the argument, because upon first glance it kind of does look like Dream's just copy and pasting the smiley face onto a hoodie and then charging like $50 for it. But then there's the other side of the argument of, it's his brand, what else is he going to put on there? And then also, not all designs have to be something super complicated. Is there a compromise? Is there a way to make Dream's merch look better and maybe more like these brands that he was comparing himself to? Because personally at the moment I really don't think the smiley face is up to the level of Nike yet, but we'll get to that later. Okay, but then again, this is also just, it's Minecraft YouTuber merch. Who cares? I do. I care apparently, but that's because graphic design is my passion. I am a graphic design student, well, about to be graduated graphic design student, scarily close to graduation. I should probably be working on my resume now and my portfolio so I can probably get a job after I graduate. But no, I'm here making a video about Minecrafter YouTuber merch. That's where I'm at right now. So I've studied design for a while. So when this kind of came up, it got me thinking, if I could redesign Dream's merch to appease both sides of the argument here, or in a way fixing Dream's merch, saying that I respectfully redesign Dream's merch isn't as clickable as a title, so this is how I fixed Dream's merch. And I just had to find a way to put Dream's name in the title because no one's going to click on my first video otherwise, so... So I think the stem of the problem really does come from the fact that overall the general look that the smiley face will give will always come off as rushed, unprofessional, and childish. So in Dream's comparison to the other brands like Nike, Adidas, I would say it's not as valid as an argument because they are more well-designed and finished logos and they just give off a different feel than what the smiley face is. Don't get me wrong, I think it works great for YouTube because as soon as you see it in the thumbnail, like I'm probably going to use it in this thumbnail, click on it because you see it and you know that I'm immediately talking about Dream. So YouTube world works great. Clothing, not so much. So I think the best way to go about fixing Dream's merch would be to create a new logo and brand for his merch specifically. but will also work with the YouTube smiley face branding. I also want the logo to have a different feel to it, a new direction, which actually when I looked at Dream's website, it kind of looks like they already have a certain direction that they want to go. So when you look at his site, you can see that some of the graphics have a very different feel from his merch and his current smiley face. It's a lot bolder and edgier and almost looks like it has like a sporty look to it. But because the smiley face is such a friendly, simple, hand-drawn symbol, it's kinda hard to go that direction. And it is worth noting that Dream does have a lot more merch that has more complicated and more illustrative designs on it rather than just the smiley face, but those aren't the ones that he's mostly known for, and they're more made for each specific milestone that he has. So I'm not going to be focusing on those as much. However, it is good to look at those other designs and see what his audience likes and what they responded to. So a small disclaimer, this is no way me trying to hate on Dream. I'm a super big fan, or anyone in the whole process of making the merch. This is me just looking and critiquing the merch from a design standpoint, and me coming up with solutions to fix some of the critiques that is brought up about it. This is all just a fun challenge for me to try and get better at design myself. Now, getting started, I did do a couple of sketches. Should I probably film me making them to make this content flow easier? Yes. Did I? No. So we're just going to show the one that was like my starting off point. Already going into it, I know that I was thinking either having just like the logo be the letter D for Dream, or just being his whole name as logo word mark. Having just like letter logo or the word mark will make it easier to just place alongside with the smiley face as the symbol. The sketch I started off with was the slanted letter D. I felt that it looked very sleek, and I also felt the slant gave it a good sense of movement. So then it was time to take it into the computer. I used Adobe Illustrator, and basically I went with just at first copying a sketch, and I tried like a couple different versions that kind of came about while I was building the first one. Once I actually vectorized and added color to it, I kind of realized that it wasn't the direction that I wanted to go. It kind of gave off like more of a bank vibe. Then I just started playing around with bringing in a bunch of fonts that I thought that were definitely the look I was going for, and started messing around with them. I ended up using a shear tool to put it as slant, and then started messing around with overlapping the letter forms. I ended up extending the E to hit over with the A to fill up that empty white space there, and to add just a little bit more interest to the letter form. And I was starting to like the direction it was going. There was a while that I was playing around with the idea of having a more cleaned up finished version of the smiley face, or like a more cartoon like mascot version of it, but I ended up not liking that at the end, so I ended up abandoning that eventually. I did mess around with the idea of having a lightning bolt. I guess my brain was thinking like, oh, Dream's is fast, so lightning perhaps, but yeah, it didn't quite work out. But then I came up with this like slight like dash triangle underneath it, which I ended up really liking. I thought it helped accentuate the movement. Then I started playing around with adding some dashes into the letter forms in an attempt to kind of give like shadow or depth to the letters by adding these little dashes there. I did play around with the idea and kept it for like quite a while of having dashes going the opposite direction at the top as well, but I kind of realized that it looked way too similar to the Knights logo, and I think I was just subconsciously like really following that, so I ended up taking those away at the end. And it kind of made it feel like too much, I guess, at one point. And with that, I pretty much had the final logo. pretty happy with how the final designs came out. I think that having this new logo wordmark makes it feel like a way more complete and thought out design, even though all I'm just kind of doing is like placing it on the different merch. But now with a much bolder and more finished looking logo, it kind of gives off the same feel as Nike and Adidas like Dream was originally comparing in the beginning. I do think that this logo gives a good starting off point for creating some really cool designs, but these are just kind of placing and showing the initial look of the merch. See, even Dream approves. Look how happy he is. And that's basically it, my new logo for Dream. Personally, I'm pretty happy with the results. I think personally it looks like a way more completed logo. Still, he can have this full iconic smiley face hoodies on the store for whoever likes them, but this would just be another option of merch incorporated to his branding. Still works with the other one without canceling it out. This is just how I would go about redesigning it. So you may like the old one better than the new one and think that this was totally unnecessary. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. And plus, like, this is all just for fun. Like, this probably isn't ever going to actually happen. Like, Dream's branding probably isn't going anywhere, so it's all good. And honestly, this was a super fun project to do just because I got to combine my interests in like gaming, YouTubers, and streamers and combine it with my interest in graphic design and then also making a video for the first time. It was a whole lot of fun and I would love to do it again. Like I would think it would be really cool to do like a whole logo redesign for George Not Found because his logo is not exactly fantastic either. He's like the only one with like an actual logo for his YouTube channel and he's even said in streams before that he knows it's not the best, just a logo that he made because he thought his YouTube channel needed one. So I think it'd be fun to like break that one down and maybe like kind of start from scratch on what his current brand is now and make a new logo for him. Another one I think would be pretty fun would be Rambo. Because I know I made fun of him earlier. It really would be starting with ground zero from him because right now it is just at Comic Sans and he has such a cool character and so much personality that I think it would be so much fun to do a branding for him. So if you'd like to see like George or Rambo or any other content creators in the community and try and do branding for, let me know down in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. This is my first ever video. So you know what that means. According to YouTube analytics, 0% of my viewers are subscribed just because would 0% of, would zero be 0%? Or would it be 100%? 100% of my viewers are subscribed! I think. I don't know. I guess. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you next time.